everybody, welcome back to Leeton. Well, we've got a bit of rain and in all honesty we need it. We've had about a week of some pretty warm weather and the ground's in need of it now. So today I'm going to do some potting on, some pricking out. I'm going to look at the peppers and the chilies and get them potted on as well, I think, and have an easy day in the garden room because, well, it's been pretty full on the last week doing various projects. So I'm going to have a restful day and get the stuff done that really needs to happen before we get much further into the season. So I've got kale, spinach, red cabbage, pak choi, salad leaves that haven't done very well for some reason, an iceberg, and I'm wondering, have I possibly got these labels the wrong way around? Maybe not, I don't know. But this as well, now that could well be a stray cucumber or something that's ended up in the mix. So I think what I'm going to do on this lot is pick out what I've labelled up as iceberg. They do all look the same, to be fair, but at this size it could be difficult to tell, and leave these and just see what happens. So the potting mix I'm using is just Irish moss peat compost with some vermiculite added into it. That is all. So look at the cucumbers. This is a variety called telepathy. That one's ready to eat. We've got some more like this outside in clutches as well. And then these ones are a variety called Ladiva. And there's another one there which you probably can't see, and they're coming on leaps and bounds, and I just wish it would warm up so that I could put them out, and without having cover on the polytunnel and the greenhouse in a north facing position, which doesn't help. They're really gonna stay in here for a while yet, but they're doing okay, so we're getting some fruit off them. Right, I'm going to use one of these trays and just going to prick these iceberg out, if they are iceberg, that is. Because we've got a lot of salad growing, but we will get our way through it, and as the plants get a bit older we can always pull the whole plant, use it, and then these will have been planted out at some point. Not sure where yet, but they will have been, and then we can start munching our way through these. Oh, and it's still raining outside. It's that really fine drizzle that just soaks everything. So definitely a day to be doing things indoors. So that's the iceberg that way. And then I'm going to put spinach and kale in the rest of this. Maybe some cabbage if they will fit in. Now the spinach, a bit late perhaps in the year. I have got 5 or 6 plants outside already, because they probably will, as these grow, they'll probably bolt in the not too distant future, next couple of months perhaps. But that's okay, we can just pull them as whole plants, eat what's there, and it's no big deal. I do like spinach. I'll pull the leaf off that one. Very good for you. Those of us that are old enough will remember Popeye, I'm sure. Certainly from the UK anyway. He was a cartoon character, for those that don't know. And he was quite a weedy guy, and then he would open a can of spinach, eat it, and he'd turn into Mr. Muscles and sort out the bad guys. Going back a bit there, I'm showing my age now. Okay, and the kale. Got a couple of kale plants out there, but the slugs did eat the rest, so these are some extras. And the reason I'm putting lettuce, kale, spinach all in this one tray is it reduces the space needed to keep all this stuff, but it's also, all of these plants I'm putting in this tray are quite okay to be outside now. I don't have to particularly protect these in any way, so by having them all in the same tray it just makes life easier, and I can just chuck them outside or just in the greenhouse perhaps. It's unheated, it's north facing, there's a couple of panes of glass missing as well, so it's not like it's going to get red hot in there, because none of these plants would particularly like it to be boiling hot. So spinach, kale, and then how many cabbage we've got? Yeah, we'll put the cabbage in there as well, the red cabbage. I can't remember the name of the variety of this one, but it's one that I haven't grown before, so we will see what it's like. And of course, with the weather being bad today, and I've been to work this morning as well, I've been to do a job in Wolverhampton today, but with the weather being so bad, it's a good little job to get done. Because when the weather's nice, I tend to like doing the bigger project stuff, and yeah, there's that little, I don't know what that is. I think that could be a cucumber maybe, or even a courgette. Just put him back in there to see. I've only got 3 cabbage. I think I've killed one of them. Yeah. Alright, so that tray can all happily be in the same location. So either in a unheated, cool-ish greenhouse, or even just outside. I could just put it outside. In fact, it's chucking it down with rain. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it outside now and let the rain water them. Okay, next up, choy. I've got quite a few of these. I'm not sure where I'm going to put them all yet, but I think we could be making another bed somewhere for this lot. And my understanding is that the slugs love these, so I'm going to have to protect everything. I've got quite a few here, so I'll get all these in and I'll be back and we will do the peppers and the chilies and pot those on. So that's pak choy done. I'm going to put these outside as well, let the rain do the work for me. And I've spaced them out in the module because I didn't have enough to fill the tray, and by doing that it just gives them a bit more room to grow on before I either plant them out somewhere or pot them on again. But that'll do them for the next sort of 2 or 3 weeks hopefully. So I'll put these outside as well. So these are all of the peppers and chilies. So we've got at the far end there, I think we've got the Sweet Amy, red sweet peppers in the middle, which was home saved seed from 2020 I think. And then we've got a mix of chilies, unknown varieties because it was a mixed packet and they weren't individually in individual sachets, it was just loose seeds in the packet. So I'm gonna have to wait and see how that pans out. So we'll do these ones first. These are the Sweet Amy, which is a yellow bell pepper, sweet pepper. And I've had a quick look. They could stay in these pots a little bit longer, but it's a rainy day, I've got nothing else to really do, and the roots are now starting to come back upwards and fill the pot, fill the compost. So I've already prepared these pots, so I'm going to set it in there and just backfill and just make sure I get it firmed down the sides. We've got a lot of these this year, a lot of peppers and chilies, probably way more than we could certainly use. I think if we do get a decent crop of sweet peppers, etc., then we're going to be freezing a lot of them. And that's it, planted up to its seedling leaves. There we go, and that's now got lots of room to grow on before it will either get planted out or potted on. So in this pot, we've got a late developer by the looks of it. So what I'm going to do there, I think, is try and separate this one we'll pot this one on. And then I'm going to put this one back in this pot, and it might grow on. Might be a bit late in the season for it to do anything spectacular, but you never know. So we'll put him in there. And see how it gets on. Okay, I need to mix up some more mix, so I'll quickly show you how I do that. So all this potting mix is, as I've already mentioned, Irish moss peat compost. You could use any compost of your choice. That is entirely up to the individual, obviously. And then all I do is add some vermiculite. Seems to have an extra hole in the bag. That's way too much. That'll do. And then I'll just spread it around and mix it in. Probably a bit more than I would normally add there, but I don't measure it or anything like that. I literally just do what looks right. Vermiculite is an expanded rock, and it basically creates some spaces in the compost, lets a bit of air stay in the compost, and it can also retain a little bit of moisture. Because it's expanded, lots of holes in it, it can hold on to a little bit of moisture. So I find it a good additive. It can also stop the compost drying out and going hard as well, which will not stop it but helps, and that can stop seedlings coming through, etc. So it's worth adding, I think, anyway. So the next ones I'm going to do are the red bell peppers, sweet peppers, and I can't tell you the variety because these are homemade seed, and I think it was from 2020, so we don't know what we'll get out of these, but the plants are certainly growing perfectly well, keeping up with much newer seed that was bought this year, so hopefully we will get some fruit from them. Come on. There we go. Yeah, some of them are really ready to be potted on. And once they get their roots out into this new compost with new energy, new nutrition in it, they will really take off. Now I will be keeping these in this room for the foreseeable future. They're not going to be going outside, they're not going to be going into our greenhouse because, as I've said, it's unheated, it's north facing, and there's a few panes of glass missing. It's a project that's going to get done at some point, maybe this year, but more likely next year. Okay, so these are various chilies, and as I've already said, I don't know what they are, so it's going to be quite interesting later in the year if they come to fruition. We've got a few again where there's 2 plants in one pot. We've had a late developer, so they will be potted on into these pots on their own. So we'll get these sorted out, and there is a definite difference between the varieties in the root development. Some really are ready for potting on, and some could go a little bit longer. So, well, I guess you'd expect that. And this one looks as though it's just starting to form its first flower. So I haven't noticed any on the others yet, but yeah, and it's the one with the labelling, so I'll remember that. It's the early developer. So there we go, guys, that's the peppers and chilies potted on, and that'll keep them going for a few weeks, hopefully. And just need the weather to warm up now to move them on outdoors or into the greenhouse, I don't know. And then over here we've got some melon, Alvaro F1 hybrid. We've got 3 of those, there's 1 not germinated. We've got another variety of melon, I can't remember what they are at the moment. And it looks like there's 1 just coming through there. So 2 of those have come up. And butternut squash, and only 1 has come up, and it isn't looking particularly well. So I may need to sow these again. And then these are dwarf beans, which I'm keeping indoors for now because I think we're going to get some cooler temperatures the next few nights. And I am going to have to go wrap up my courgettes again in their polythene and put a candle in there overnight. And also the tomatoes that are outside, I've got fleece behind them, and I'll put some fleece in front of them, and then I'm using clothes pegs to sort of wrap them up. And so far it's worked okay. And then of course the cucumbers, that's the La Diva variety, coming on nicely. So we're going to have to eat some cucumbers, and we're going to have to eat some courgettes because there's a few of those ready. And these are going to have to go out soon because there's only about a foot or 18 inches of height left. Alright guys, that about wraps it up for another one. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you hit the bell icon and then click notifications, you won't miss any more updates from us either. Thanks very much. See you next time.